Good afternoon, everyone. It's my honor to welcome you all in this second edition of Orange City Literature Fest organized by SGR Knowledge Foundation. I, Himanshi Kandhari, will be the anchor for this session, and the topic of this session is Ideas Untold Creative Writing Sessions for ages 16 plus, which is of 40 minutes. Sir, you will get a buzzer after 30 minutes to sum up the session. The guest for this session is Soren Desai sir. Soren Desai sir is an ideator, a creative writer, a story crafter, a mentor, and teller, as well as a published poet and comic writer. He enjoys reading, writing, and telling stories in every form and has worked with over 2,000 entrepreneurs, professionals, and students on story crafting, creative writing, and thinking ideation and content development. Sarah facilitated over 200 plus workshops and sessions for institutions or events like the Orange City Literature Festival First, IILM University, Hindustan Times, NIIT, Mumbai University, Academy of Architecture, Rajiv Gandhi College of Management Studies, Somaiya College, COGS, Secret Passages, TSOT, and so on. Handing the session to you, Sorensa.
Thank you, Himanshi. Thank you for the wonderful introduction. Good afternoon. So I am in Mumbai. Last year, around this time, for the first festival, I was in Nagpur, and it was a different kind of experience. This is a different kind of experience, but which is great because experiences is what life and our stories are made out of. So I have been, like Himanshu mentioned, I've been writing and kind of struggling to write since years now. And so writer's block is something I understand really well. So I have a short presentation which has a little bit of my experience, my understanding, my learning, which might be able to help you to break through writer's block. Okay. So I'm going to just share that and we'll take it from there. All right. Okay. So what we're going to do now is simple. We are going to have hands-on activity, which is basically a couple of exercises, and we're going to walk through those. Okay. My intent here is, in the next 40 minutes, is to just give you a couple of tools that you can use, but it's not going to necessarily help you to break through today itself. It might take a day, it might take a week, it might take a month, but I can assure you that if you just use these, you will be able to overcome writer's block. Right? Is writer's block real? I'd say yes and no. And I have a couple of comics that that I love comics. I've written a couple of comic scripts, not illustrated, but written. This is not mine, of course. I wish it was. But so this is, the writer's block is real for people like us, but it is not real in the sense that it is not something that I can physically touch. It's an idea, right? And since it's an idea, it can be, in a sense, dismantled, deconstructed only in the mind, right? And Calvin Hobbes is my favorite, and this is actually what we do. While it seems like a joke that writer's block is something that I just put it up on my paper or my computer and I do not write. That is exactly what we do to ourselves. We create our writer's block, and then we get stuck. Now, that's some of the reasons or some of the problems, challenges I faced with writers, where I have been blocked, which includes, of course, distractions. We are surrounded by them, but also not being motivated enough, etc., etc. Right? Now, whether it is being distracted, whether it's about motivation, whether it's about fear of being rejected, or wanting to be perfect, or not really sure about the craft that, and whether you're good enough. In almost all the cases, okay, there is no other way but this. What you see on your screen, which is basically the only way through writer's block, is by writing. Okay? So that's what you're going to do. Also, if you share what you do right over the next 40 minutes and over the day, if you share it up on your anywhere on your social media, you just add this hashtag OCRF Nagpur, the Authenticity Literature Festival, the Rice Group, and the team. They promise that maybe if all of us like something, you might win some, maybe a very interesting prize. But not this any surprise. It's just great to share. Sharing what you write, putting it out into the universe is the only way in which you will get better, right? Otherwise, it becomes a journal, right? Share, take feedback in the right way, work on it again, keep writing. Okay? So let's just get started with the first exercise. This one is basically a fantastic icebreaker. Fantastic writer's block breaker. All you have to do is close your eyes. Think of an object from your past. Could be a childhood object, could be an object from your teens. Does not matter. Something that is a couple of years into the past, but something that you cherish or cherished. You may no longer have it. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to think of one incident, one memory around it. Okay, what happened? Who was with you at that time? How did you feel about it? Was it a happy memory, a sad memory, right? Something, right? So maybe when you got it, or whether when you lost it or it broke, or someone took it from you, or whatever it is, right? Or you kind of stop taking interest in it. How did you feel about it at that time? Go back to it. Now, at this point in time, now that you're thinking about how you feel about it, okay, just take 20 seconds and just think about that, and then just get to your page, start writing about whatever comes to your mind. If it was maybe a pair of shoes, or your bicycle or bike or car, whatever it was, right? Just go back to it, remember it, write it down. Write down whatever comes to your mind in terms of how you felt, who was with you at that time, what did they say, what were they wearing, what were you wearing, whatever you remember, right? Don't worry about it. It's not a story. You're not creating stories. Just write down from memory whatever comes to your mind. And if you run out of words, you can start imagining. You can start figuring stuff out. You can start creating stuff. You can start making up stuff. Okay. So until I tell you to stop, just keep writing. Okay. So your time has started, and once the time is up, I'll let you know. Till that time, just keep writing. Whatever comes to your mind, don't stop. All the best. I'm looking forward to what you have. Once you write, you share it today. I will try and read it, and so will the others. Fantastic. Both. So if you feel that is my voice better now? I just got a message that it's lagging a bit. Is it clear now? Is it clear?
No, sir, still lagging.
Okay. Is it? So I just have to keep talking till you tell me whether it's, that it's getting better, because I have no internet problem here. Is it getting better now?
Yeah, a bit better.
Okay. All right. Hopefully it should be fine by the time we're done with the time off. Okay, so 30 seconds more to go. And at the end of 30 seconds, we will move to the next activity, right? So, but in case you feel that you want to keep writing, you do that, and you can always come back to the video at a later, time, or you can stop, work with me on the next activity exercise, and then take this up again. There is no right or wrong answer. There is no you know right or wrong word count. The idea is to just get your pen, paper, mind, heart flowing. Right? That's the intent. If you can do that, the rest will follow. Awesome. Okay. Uh, let's get to the next one. Okay. Remember the hashtag. It's OCLF Nagpur. Right. In case when you could share something on your social media, do remember at this hashtag. Okay. Now this is basically a series of visuals, which. So this is obviously called a visual prompt, image prompt or visual prompt. It's very simple. I'm going to give you a series of prompts over the next couple of minutes. All I want you to do is write down whatever comes to your mind, right? An idea, a thought, a story, a vision, a joke, anything, whatever comes to your mind, just scribble it down. Don't worry right now. Don't judge. Don't critique. What does this remind you of? Is this something that how would it feel if you were to touch it? How would it smell? Just go wild with it. Okay? So these are visual prompts. These are freely available online. You can go to a website like Pixabay or Pixels. These are free to use images. You can actually use them for whatever you want to. So all these images are from Pixabay and Pixels. Okay, and just think about what you could do with an image like this. What do you think? Where do you think this is going? Right? What do you think resides there? Would you step down there if you were alone? Would you step down there if you had a friend with you? What if this was something you discovered in your house, a new house that you bought, and there's a door lock, you open and this is what you see. What would you do? What if this is a subway? In the night, and you're all alone, and you have to get home, and this is the only way to get home. You go down. There is a little bit of light, but there it seems to be dark once you reach the basement, reach the sub level. Whatever comes to your mind, right? Does it have to be horror? Not really. It looks scary, but maybe you could surprise us. Okay. So that's the second image. Again, these are just random images. There's no sequence to it. There's no connection to it. They're just random, images. This one, okay, slightly abstract. What is going on here? Okay. How did we get here, or what will happen if we, move from here? Where is this? What are they doing? Again, take a minute. Think about it. Himanshu, is the voice better now?
So in between it was good, but then again the same thing happened.
Okay. Okay. So I honestly don't want you to spend too much time on each image right now. I just want you to scribble down whatever comes to your mind. You can always come back to this and see if there are some thoughts that develop out of this. Right now, just put down the first thoughts, the first impressions, ideas, whatever comes to your mind, right? Is this person, is he crying? Is he embarrassed? Is he ashamed? Do you know this person, or is this person just a stranger? You know, what's his name? Just assume, right? Just assume what's going on here. maybe have a conversation, with this person. See what he has to say. What has he lost? And don't worry if one or two or three of the images tell you, do not say anything to you. That's absolutely fine. That's why we have 10. I think about 10. So at least 3 or 4 of the images will speak to you. And you can do this anytime you feel that you're blocked. Just go online, a website, any website. Google is good enough. And just type, either type visual prompts or image prompts, or just say real images or funny images. In fact, do this right every time from now on. You see something interesting, an interesting visual. You have your phone. Just take a photograph of it, right? Or if you can download it, put it into a folder, and just call the folder, image prompts, and just keep dumping random images into it. Right? The next time, you're stuck, you don't feel like writing, or words just won't appear. Just open that folder and just browse through those images and see what comes up, what pops up. Maybe a memory. So the 3 things that inspire us to write. So one is, of course, our experiences, which is memory. Right? Whatever happened to us in the past, it's a reservoir. There's so much in the past, right? I'm not talking about a memoir, but so much of who we are. In fact, everything who we are and what we know and what we understand comes from our past. So memories and experiences from our past is fantastic, right? So that's huge. So you can even put up photographs, your own photographs from the past. At those, you never know, something there triggers the content. The second thing is basically just observation, right? Which includes reading, or watching movies, art, just watching people around you. So that you're just observing. You're just an observer, right? It's not happening to you. You're just observing. You're a fly on the wall, right? So memories, observation, and the third is imagination. If you only wrote what we could see and what we experience, the world would be so much less richer or so much poorer, right? So a lot of fantasy writing is just imagination. Just imagine, right? Science fiction, fantasy, especially, but even the other genres, right? So observation, memory, and imagination. So what this is doing is it's a mix of all 3, right? You remember something from your past when you see something like this, a friend, a sibling. You might have seen kids, and that observation comes in, and you can just imagine what is going on here, and just create your own story. This is abstract. I have no idea what it is. Maybe it's a wall, it's a faded map. Maybe it's a painting that's gone wrong, or it's actually a painting. This is how it's supposed to be. Maybe it's blood that's dried up, and and this gotten discolored over years. I have no clue what this is. Right? You decide. Imagine what it is. What does it trigger in you? Just as an example. Manchi? Okay. Just as an example, no, the Himachi headphones won't help. In fact, it'll worsen. It's not got nothing to do with my voice. The room is completely closed, so it's not. There's no external voice. I'm sorry, I have no clue what is going on. I can switch to the other 2 devices, but this is the best. I have no clue why this is happening. Sorry about this. Really sorry. Okay. We just keep going. Just, I'm sorry if you're not able to hear me, but I honestly have no clue what to do. I'm on a very good Wi-Fi, but it just seems to be messing up right now at a very long time. Sorry about that. So this is again another image. See what it says to you. What is this couple up to? What's inside that box? Metaphorically, literally. It's a game. Maybe they're being punished. I don't know. What do you think? Himanshi, if it gets better, just give me a thumbs up. Is it better now than before?
No, sir, not better, but I'll surely give you a thumbs up if it gets better.
Just can you check? Should I switch to the other internet and check right now, or would it be a bad idea?
Sir, please try once, maybe it get better.
Will you check with the host once whether I should do that? Because I don't want the call to get disconnected when I switch.
Host, can he change the connection? Host?
Should I try that?
No.
Right. Fantasy and funny images are the best. Because science fiction, maybe because I'm a science fiction and fantasy fan. But there's so much that you can do with images like these. Right? There's so many stories, so many ideas that pop up when you look at these kind of images. I know we've been having some technical issues and we have limited time. Again, as I said, these images are all available online. All you have to do is just go online and the visual prompt, image prompt, or just science, sci-fi prompts, funny prompts, fantasy prompts, and you get these. Right? All you have to do is look at the image, put down whatever comes to your mind. Do not worry if it's not an idea. At least to get started, get writing. Right? If you write a page of any, whether it was the first exercise or this exercise or the following exercise, if you can write a page of anything, even if it does not make too much sense, I can promise you, getting to the next page and then getting to your writing, whether it's a blog, whether it's a story, whether it's a script, whether it's a novel, whether it's a poem, it'll get easier, right? Because you'll be able to unlock yourself. All right. Let's get to another one. This is called life book story. Right? What do we do here is basically pick up your favorite book, the first line or any line that says something to you. Right? So this is, for instance, is the first line of happy families are all alike. Every unhappy family is unhappy in its own way. Right? This says a lot. Can you use this to start your story? So use this as your first line and start. You can always take it off later in your story. But write this line and see if you can move from here
Okay. Hi. Sorry so much. Sorry, apologies. I had a bit of a tech meltdown here. Uh, uh, Kind people at the OCLF have managed to get me back up. Anyway, so getting back on track. So, this is basically any book that you like. Pick up a line. The first line is good enough, or just pick up any line that says something to you. Put that down, and then at the end of it, just start writing whatever comes to your mind. Right. So I'm going to give you a couple of examples. But again, this is what speaks to me. You can choose your own. Right. Which is what I suggest right now. Take a minute or two. You can choose either of these, or you can just pick up any book that you like. Just open up, go to the one line that you really enjoy, that really inspires you. Put that one line down, and then just start writing. Okay, take a minute and write whatever comes to your mind. Do that right away. Himanshi, please just keep letting me know how much time do we have. Okay. Thank you.
So we have 15 minutes more.
And don't worry if you end up writing, what's a part of that very story, right? So, for instance, if I start writing from here and kind of gets into Game of Thrones, because I've read it and I kind of keep going in that same direction, that's all right. How do we learn to do anything? By copying, right? As children, we copy our parents, our teachers, our elders, our siblings. How do we learn to practice art, music, or dance? Or we look at what what our instructor tells us and just copy it, right? So what is so wrong in doing that with writing? It's not that you're going to write this and then publish this. This is just practice. So if you end up writing your version of what you've read, no problem, right? All of these are books that most of us would be should be proud of, to be readers. And if we could one day be also be able to write something like this, it would be fantastic. So absolutely no problem with that. But if you feel no, I would like to not write something that's based on what I have read, then just randomly pick up a book that you've never read before, right? Just pick up a book that you've not ever read before. Just randomly take a line and then start writing. You have no idea what the book is about. So write whatever you think the line is saying or whatever you think the book is saying. Well, that works as well. But it's not just not just books. You could even take a phrase. You could take a quote, like this one, for instance. What befalls the earth befalls all the sons and daughters of the earth. Or anything else, that any quote that you find interesting, just write that down as the start of your story, and then just go with that, right? So choose, do that right away. Take a quote, a phrase, an idiom, anything that inspires you. Just put that down as the start of your story. Start your story with that, right? So those 2 lines, 3 lines, whatever it is that you have, and then after that, whatever comes to your mind, just start writing. Okay. So take 2 minutes and do that. In fact, it could even be a track, a song. The first line or the title of that song does not matter. Whatever inspires you, makes you feel good, makes you feel agitated, makes you feel emotional, works. Yeah. So do that. Take 2 minutes. Try that. About 30 seconds to go, and then we'll move to the next exercise. I hope your paper's filling up with some words, with some ideas, with some thoughts. Don't critique it, don't evaluate it, don't worry about the grammar, don't worry about spellings, don't worry about the writing. Right now, all you're doing is just pen on paper. Honestly, it does not matter what you write, as long as you write. If you keep writing, eventually the words will flow. And then you will be able to write the stories you want to. But you have to start writing. Yeah? And all we're doing here is getting you to start writing whenever you need to, wherever you need to. Right? It's 1% inspiration, 99% perspiration. You cannot wait for inspiration to strike you. You have to write whether you feel like it or not. Right? And that's all we're doing here. Okay. Okay. So we're going to move to the next one. Right? And if you share whatever you have on your social media and you just add this hashtag OCLF Nagpur, you might win some interesting prizes. Yeah, so do not forget to do that. Whatever you write, even if it's 10 words, 20 words, whatever you have, right? A poem, a short story, just put it up, share it with the world. Writing and then putting it out there in terms of publishing, not necessarily as a book, but just putting it out there is important. You have to complete the circle, and you read, you learn, you observe, you think, you write, and you put that out, right? And it completes. So that's so important. It does not matter how good it is. What's important is it's out there, and as you keep putting it out there, it'll keep getting better. Yeah. Okay. Now this one is it's something I stumbled across. It's a very, very interesting exercise. It's by Andy Lee, and it basically he talks about writer's block, and he talks about how whenever he faces writer's block, this is an exercise he does, and usually it breaks through. And I tried it out, and it works. So I use this as well. So it's very, very, very simple. So I'm not being able to write. I'm having writer's block. So I say sometimes I just can't write. Now that's too obvious, right? Obviously I can't write. So I don't want to write about not being able to write. So I changed the write. Okay. So let's say so in his case he talks about breath. So he says I just can't breathe. But I said I can't sleep. Okay, so sometimes I just can't sleep, and sometimes it is because of the pain, but often it is not, right? So now I just I started with write, and then I said, okay, I don't want to talk about writing, so I'm going to talk about sleep. I just can't sleep, and because I'm in pain, right? So it is because of the pain, but often it is not. right? So what if it is not pain? What is it then, right? And then this just happened. Often it is the night, it calls me, not the sounds of the night, but night itself, the moon, the darkness, the solitude. Is it a story? I don't know, right? Is it good? I leave that to you, but that's not the point. Okay, so what I want you to do is the same. Start with sometimes I just can't, and instead of write or sleep, you know, change it to whatever you want to change it to. You can even use sleep, right? But you can say, I just can't talk, or I just can't breathe, or I just can't eat, or I just can't, whatever, right? And then just start talking about why you can't do that and why else, does that happen, and whatever comes to your mind, just fill up the page. So I'm going to give you a couple of minutes with this. Have fun with this. It's an awesome exercise. It will take you a few minutes, but just start with this, okay? Just sometimes I just can't. Just start with it, and just add something beyond the can't, and then just let it flow. So I'm giving you 5 minutes. Just fill up the page with whatever comes to your mind. Sometimes I just can't. Okay, I'm giving you all about 30 seconds more. All right. So, that's all the time we have. Okay. So I just to uh, quickly go through this again. All these 4 different kind of exercises that I've shared, right? Memory, Velia, or the visual prompts. so memory is about experiences and memories. Visual prompts is more about observations and imagination. But of course, it goes into all three. And this is again about observation, because this is what you've read and you've enjoyed, and what has inspired you. But then again, you can use that to jump into imagination, and you also will bring in a little bit of your own life experiences. So it's all you can jump into this from anywhere, whether it's from your experiences, memories, or whether it's from your observations of what you observe and read and absorb, or whether it is purely from your imagination. You can jump into this from anywhere, and eventually the point is to get writing. Okay. And this one works really well for me. Do tell me how this one works for you sometimes. My suggestion is, whatever you write, put it up on your social media. Share the hashtag, which is up on the screen, OCLF Nagpur, hashtag OCLF Nagpur. Put it up. Let all of us read it. Yeah. And now I have the great pleasure of announcing the winner of the blog contest. Yeah. This is the first prize winner, and that's Palak Gaur. For her piece, Is Literature Really Necessary Anymore? Congratulations, Palak, and thank you so much for that wonderful writing. It really, is important for you and others like you to keep putting forth your thoughts and ideas. And this one really, really, really impacted a lot of us. So congratulations, and that's it from my end. We're done. That's all the time we have. Again, sorry for the the disruption and the inconvenience. I had a text meltdown, but can't help it. So this is what Stephen King says: if you want to be a writer, you must do two things above all others: read a lot and write a lot. There is no shortcut, and that's what I want you all to do. That's what I do. Read a lot and write as much as you can. Does not matter how it is, just keep writing. All right. So thank you so much for your time, and thank you, the Unltd Literature Festival and the entire team, for inviting me over and for giving me this platform. And we will conclude here. Thank you.
Sir, there is some question from audience. Can I ask you on behalf of them?
Sure.
At what age somebody can start story writing? At what age somebody can start story writing? Does it need a specific maturity of mind and thought?
Okay. So that's a fantastic question. We're all born storytellers. Go to any kid and just ask them, about why they're doing what they're doing, or why they did not do what they should have done, and or give them something and they'll come up with a story around it, right? They love to tell stories. So I have a 5-year-old nephew, and he's a master storyteller, and all kids are, right? We're all born storytellers. I work with kids as well, and usually, again, this is my personal experience. There is no way that I can be claim to be an authority on this. I work with 8 and plus, but I know people who work with 4-year-olds and 5-year-olds, and help them to create their own stories. So honestly, there is no a minimum age, and there is no maximum age. Whatever age you are at, if you can talk. You not even have to talk. If you can write, as long as you can put pen to paper in some way, whether through your words, orally, or whether this, as long as you can do that, you can tell your stories and communicate them to the world. Honestly, does not matter. What happens is, when we start talking about age, we start thinking about, is it good enough? No, it doesn't matter, right? When you start off, when you're a 5-year-old, it does not matter. When you're a 7-year-old or an 8-year-old or a 30-year-old or a 40-year-old or a 50-year-old, does not matter. Choose right. It's a great question, but no, any age is fine. Who are the better people to examine our work? 1 minute. Who should you show your work to? Is that what you're saying who are the people who can examine? Okay. So,
Yes.
So one, there are many fantastic teachers out there, storytellers, story crafters, writers. You can reach out to them. But there are so many of these forums, right, on your WhatsApp and on your Facebook and Instagram and everywhere, right? Use that. Use all of these for a better purpose. There's so many communities where you find other writers who are happy to share their feedback on your work. So peer feedback is fantastic. The only thing is, keep in mind that you will get feedback and you should give feedback. This is whatever you understand and you learn with time, but don't take it personally. And don't take all the feedback that you get. Take it, think through it, thank them. You don't have to apply everything, right? You'll get better with time. The best thing to do is to read, right? Read good things, read bad things, read the classics, the more you read, okay, the more you'll understand how something is to be positioned, how something is to be presented, how something is to be, turned in narration, in a form of a narrative, in dialogue. Like Stephen King says, you read a lot, and then you write, and then you share. And if you have if you can connect with a teacher or a mentor or a coach, a writing coach, fantastic. But don't let that stop you. The reason I'm saying this is I don't want you to say I can't afford one, or I don't know anyone, so I will not write until I find one. Don't do that. Write. Put it up out there, right? Keep writing, and eventually at some point you will find someone, some community, some group. But for that you should have written something, right? If you've written a couple of 100 pages of all kinds of stuff, then you'll have something to show. So don't wait for it. Write, keep writing till you find the right space. Any other questions? How background helps us to become a story crafter or teller? Again, it does to an extent, but I wouldn't again want you to let that hinder. There are no rules, which is what I've learned from all the masters that I've learned from. There are no rules. So you don't need to have a background. You don't need to not have a background. And I would never say start, write about what you know, because, that makes your writing so much poorer, because, we only know so many things. I only know so many things. If I only write about what I know, there's so much else that I will not write about. I will never write science fiction and fantasy because, those are not things I have experienced. But yes, our writing, in a sense, whatever we do is slightly autobiographical. There will be something about what you do that will creep in. So your background will come in, but don't worry about it. Don't consciously think about it. Don't say, do I have the right background? Do I have the right family? Do I have the right school? Do I have the right college? Don't worry about all of that. Whatever your background is, rich, poor, happy, unhappy, whatever it is, doesn't matter. All of whatever your background is, you start writing. That's the most important thing. Let your background help you. Okay, it's there in the background, to support you. But let that not be in front of you. Anything else, Himanshu? Any other questions?
No, sir. We are done with the Q&A.
Oh, great, fantastic. Always fun to get some Q&A at the end of it. At least a few people understood what was going on. Anyway, so I think we're way beyond time. Thank you so much, all of you all, for being a part of this. Thank you, Unltd Literature Festival, and thank you, Himanshu, for seeing this through. Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir. The session was amazing. On behalf of Unltd Literature Fest, organized by SGR Knowledge Foundation, I extend a really hearty vote of thanks to our guest, Soren Desai, sir. We sincerely express our gratitude towards the acceptance for the session and knowledge shared with us. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
20 years of existence. 2 universities. 23 educational institutes. Offering 137 courses. Raisoni Group of Institutions, a vision beyond.